Hey everyone, I'm Phil Barrera, one half of the Way Forward podcast, and I am your host here for the 2024 JPU Podathon. And we are joined by some of the best and brightest podcasters in Northeast Florida, as well as coming together to benefit a great cause in feeding Northeast Florida for the second year in a row, which is really, really great. And speaking of the second year in a row, I am joined by a wonderful guest. But for anybody that may have missed your appearance last year, please introduce yourself as well as your podcast.
Okay. My name is Kimberley Sanders, and I'm the host of You Are Worth the Work, where I help busy moms feel seen, heard, and understood.
Yeah, that's great. We had a lot of fun speaking last year. How's the last year gone with the show?
It's been really good.
Yeah.
My goal is always to just stay consistent and just really every 2 weeks is good for me, just because I still work a 9 to 5. I've got I've got a pair of twins that play multiple sports.
Yep.
They're in fourth grade now, and every 2 weeks is good for me, so I can do it kind of in the pockets of my life and in the pockets of my day.
Yeah.
And it's been good. I've been better at sharing it with people kind of out in the world.
I remember you mentioned that last year was one of the things that you wanted to do was make sure you got it out there more.
Yeah,
so that's great.
And so as people talk about different things, especially moms out at the fields, out at the basketball courts, I'm able to say, hey, I talked about that on my podcast. It's episode whatever. You should go check it out. And they'll say, oh, okay. So it's an easy way for me to do that without feeling like sleazy used car salesman.
Right. Yeah. If you come over here, I got a podcast for
That's
you.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's something that's relatable. It's all drawn from my real life. Like my last episode was all about how I was at the baseball fields and it was 40 degrees last week.
Yep.
So I talked about my new heated vest that I got, and I was really excited about it. So it's really to help busy moms feel like they're not alone, because sometimes when you're in the grind, you got the kids, you're doing this, that, and the other, you're still committed to making time for yourself. Yeah. But you still got to do the things.
Yeah, I bet it's pretty easy to become unseen in that role.
It is really easy to become unseen, but you have to be the one that sees you first. And so I help busy moms feel empowered to set those boundaries and put themselves first and tell the kids, hey, go to your room, I need 5 minutes. Like I've put myself on timeout more than once.
Yeah, I love that. Really quick, what positions do they play?
I've got a pair of point guards.
Okay.
And baseball, one is primarily a catcher, outfielder, pitcher.
Okay, that's
the
money.
Other is infield, like shortstop, second base.
Shortstop and second base, there you go.
Outfield, he pitches, and we bought him catcher's equipment, so he dabbles in catching, but he prefers not to.
All right. Yeah, I'm just saying that those contracts they're handing out.
$700, I know.
$750 million recently. Yeah. Well, for those of them that didn't see you last year, what made you want to start your show? You kind of touched on it there a little bit already.
I was feeling unseen.
Yep.
And I do a lot of talking to myself, which could be unhealthy, but I felt like if the same things I said to myself, someone else needs to hear this. The ways I was kind of pushing myself to put myself first. And I believe that when us as moms, when we fill up our cup, then that overflow is where the family thrives. So as long as I'm okay, if mom's okay, then everybody else is good. But when mom's not okay, that's when trouble starts for everybody. So that's why I started really to have a conversation with other moms that may be going through the same thing or know somebody who's going through the same thing. Because usually I ran my numbers and stuff, and so my demographic is listening, but sometimes I'll get the younger crowd, because I'm 42, so I'll get like the 18 to 30, but I'll also get, some 50 plus, and so they're sharing it with their daughters, they're sharing it with their aunties and their sisters, so that they don't feel so alone.
Sure. And, finding ourselves, which I think is really great in an era where open communication is much more welcome than it used to be, is really, really great. So you've had a whole another year of episodes under your belt. Do you have a new favorite from last year?
I don't remember what I said last year, but I think my favorite will always be, so every year I do, around the spring, this is when baseball gets into heavy tournament season, I do basically a mom's guide to survive and thrive during tournament season. And it's basically me pulling from the past 3 years, but maybe what I've learned this past year through going through tournament season. Like this last episode was all about, make sure you find a hotel that has a washer and dryer or a laundromat, because who wants to smell smelly baseball uniforms when you're in Ocala and it's 100 degrees, right? No one wants to smell that in their hotel room.
Right.
So find a place with a washer and dryer. It's for your own sanity. It's really for everybody. But it's little things that I take from, that I draw from my own experience. I think this year I actually asked other baseball moms kind of what they thought, and I got some really good perspectives, because what I feel is really important may not be the most important to you, but what Jen said may hit you spot on.
I can get that answer for you as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, last year, as I mentioned, one of the things you wanted to get better at was getting the podcast out there more, which it sounds like you've done a great job at. What about now? What's the next thing you want to improve upon?
The next thing I want to improve upon, well, I would love to record more often. Like, I want to get more into batch recording.
Okay.
That requires more time, though. But this year, I've actually done a really good job of moving around my work schedule.
Okay.
So that I have more time to record, or maybe record 2 episodes, or do, an hour-long interview that can be cut in half. And that gives me 2 episodes
part 1, part 2.
for the price of one.
Great. Here you go.
So I think going forward this year, I think that's going to be my goal, is to really batch record more, to give myself more time to maybe research more topics, because a lot of the times I'm talking from my own experience, or I'm talking about something that happened to somebody I know. But I'd love to dig deep into topics like mental load and the invisible load of moms and things like that, and tie it back to my own life, to really help people more, to help moms more.
Yeah, and that sports circuit can get crazy. For those of you that are not familiar with it, it can get nuts.
It's insanity sometimes, but we love it.
It's been great seeing you here again.
You too.
What's one of your favorite things about the JPU over the time you've been here?
It forces me to go outside.
There you go. Yeah. Leave the house.
It doesn't force me to wear real clothes, so I'll still wear leggings and my chucks.
No, come
but I love that I can come as I am. And still really meet with people around the city, because it is difficult having 2 kids that play multiple sports,
for sure,
and having a 9-to-5 and just having another life. I rarely get to other parts of the city unless I'm at a court or at a field.
Right.
So being able to connect with other podcasters that are really enjoying what they're doing, or maybe new podcasters, I almost feel like I can give a little bit of wisdom
Absolutely.
right now.
Heck yeah, you can. Heck yeah, you can.
But still learn. But I can still learn.
Yeah, definitely. Well, once again, great seeing you again. Please let our audience know where they can find your podcast and anything else you'd like to plug.
You can find my podcast on Apple and Spotify, as well as a couple other places. Just search You Are Worth the Work. I'm on Instagram as well, Kimberley, Kimberley Sanders, like the Colonel, _ on Instagram.
All right, there you go. Thanks so much, Kim.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Phil, the 2024 JPU Podathon.